Okay, you guys, buckle up because we're about to dive into the latest chapter of Things That Make You Go Ham, starring our favorite Duchess-turned-California mom, Meghan Markle. And trust me, this one's a doozy. So picture this, you're listening to a podcast, minding your own business, when suddenly Meghan drops this absolutely precious little story. She's chatting with Emma Grede, painting this picture-perfect scene where little Archie and Lilibet are out there selling homegrown vegetables at their local Santa Barbara farmers market. Cue the collective O from listeners everywhere. She says, and I quote, "We grow a lot of veggies. We sometimes do a little farmer's market stand." The reason? To teach her kids the value of things. Now, on the surface, this sounds absolutely adorable, right? Like something straight out of a wholesome family movie. Mom and kids, dirt under their fingernails, teaching life lessons through honest work. It's giving Major Little House on the Prairie vibes, but with a Montecito twist. But here's where things get interesting. The internet, being the internet, immediately went into detective mode. And let me tell you, what they found was, well, let's just say it's not great for Team Sussex. Here's the thing about California farmers markets, they're not exactly your neighborhood lemonade stand situation. You can't just show up with a basket of tomatoes and a smile. There are rules, people. We're talking vendor permits, which cost money and require paperwork. Food handling certifications, because health departments don't mess around. Official vendor lists, that the public can actually check. And guess what the internet sleuths discovered when they started digging? Zero evidence of any Sussex produce stand. Not on the vendor lists, not in the permits, nowhere to be found. Now, I'm not saying Meghan is intentionally misleading anyone. Maybe she's thinking about a future farmers market adventure? Maybe it's wishful thinking? But here's what's really getting people scratch their heads. The photo problem. In 2024, everything gets photographed. Your coffee gets photographed. Your parking spot gets photographed. But somehow, a literal duchess's children selling vegetables at a public market goes completely undocumented? In Santa Barbara, where celebrity spotting is practically a sport. The security situation. We're talking about kids who need security details for basic outings. The same family that requires extensive planning for any public appearance. But they're casually setting up produce stands in public spaces? The logistics alone would make your head spin. Asterisk asterisk the age factor asterisk asterisk. Look, I love giving kids credit, but we're talking about a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old here. These are children who probably still need help putting on their shoes, but they're supposedly negotiating vegetable prices with strangers? The really telling part? People who actually frequent the Santa Barbara farmers market started speaking up. And their message was pretty consistent, never seen 'em. This isn't some massive conspiracy, it's just regular people who know their local market saying, hey, I've never seen a Sussex stand there. In a community where word travels fast and everyone knows everyone's business, that's pretty significant. Here's what really gets me about this whole situation. Why complicate a simple story? There's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, my kids love gardening, and we grow vegetables together. That's sweet. That's relatable. That's something any parent would smile about. But somehow, that wholesome truth gets inflated into this elaborate tale about teaching entrepreneurship to preschoolers through farmers market sales. It's like taking a perfectly nice bicycle and insisting it's actually a rocket ship. And look, I don't want to be the mean person pointing fingers, but this isn't exactly an isolated incident. Is it? We've seen this movie before. Remember the secret wedding 3 days before the real wedding story that turned out to be not quite accurate? Or various other tales that seemed to shift and change depending on who was telling them. It's this pattern of taking something simple and real and spinning it into something so much more dramatic and Pinterest-worthy that it stops making sense in the real world. You might be thinking, okay, so what? It's just a story about vegetables. But here's why people care. Trust factor. When someone consistently tells stories that don't quite add up, people start questioning everything else they say. Relatability. Many parents work hard to teach their kids about money, work, and values. When someone makes up elaborate stories about this stuff, it feels like they're trivializing those real efforts.